amazing little space. I've literally just walked in here and it's just, I wish I had this at home. It's just perfect, but obviously it would be too big to go in my area. But it's a great gym, and in here we've got Rich and Josh, and they have the studio here, and at the moment in lockdown everything's a little bit quiet, but hopefully when we get back going again, all your clients are going to come back. So do you think your clients can have a different mindset and attitude to training since they've had to learn and adapt at home, and how do you think that will affect their training in a non-commercial gym as much as a gym like this?
Yeah, for sure. I think the lockdown for us, as we talked about previously just off camera, but with all kind of the bells and whistles that you get in a normal commercial gym, it's quite easy to jump from one to the other and actually not focus on the basics and build from the ground up. So a lot of what we've done with guys online and from home is actually real control of body weight exercises and get good progression through that work. And so when they come back in the gym, hopefully they'll actually be in a better spot, as well as giving them a bit of time away from that kind of heavy impact stuff that you get in a commercial gym.
When you first come into a gym like this, if you've been a member of a commercial gym, you might come in here and think, well, this is a bit sparse, there's not much going on. But for me, I'm into training, and this for me is like music to my ears. I love this kind of setup, and I hate, not I hate commercial gyms, but I find them really unnecessary, and there's so much thrown at you, you can't, decide where to go first. It's like too many sweets all at once. But I think you need to focus on your goal, don't you, first and foremost, and then from that, then you can figure out what you're going to train, and it's not necessarily always a machine that's needed. Yeah. What would you start with?
We start for everything. So TRXs, we just got off the back in, and then we've got landmines just by our feet. So we can go hip hinging, squat movements, all of those, and then we've got obviously the bars.
From our point of view, it's explaining to people how this equipment works towards their goals, and then there's that kind of tie in there, rather than we get an awful lot of people come and go, I want to lose weight but I don't like running. It's like, well, there's plenty of other ways around it, and actually just explaining, like Josh said, how a TRX or how a landmine is going to get them towards their goals. Then there's a bit more of a tie-in and a relationship with the training they're doing, rather than just going, right, we're going to deadlift because it's a big gym exercise.
There's less distraction in a gym like this. There's no coffee bar, no seating, no chatting, all that kind of stuff. Just you come in, you do your business, and then you leave. There's nothing else to it. You look at the amount that you get from big commercial gyms, half the time you don't want all this stuff, but they'll charge you for it anyway.
Like you say, I think for us compared to a commercial gym, it's cutting off a lot of the fluff out of it. I think if you pulled most people out of the commercial gym and said, what are your goals and are you actually working towards them? And the bit of kit that you're on now, do you know if that's taking you towards your goals? We can answer all of that straight away and get people on a straight path towards their goals, rather than, as you say, taking everything else in by being distracted by other bits of equipment. Should I try this because my friends tried it, or I've seen loads of people using it, and it's taking that uncertainty out of it.
I think you almost feel like if you're not using all that equipment, you feel like you're missing out or something.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I used to be a member of a big commercial gym when I was in my early 20s and I just started dabbling, and I'd see all this stuff and I was only really using a couple of bits, but those bits were fine for me. That was everything I needed. But in my mindset, I'd see this floor of all the stuff. I think, well, I'm not getting my value for money, so I'm not using all the stuff, and I'm not in the big, where all the big weights are on the racks, as I was too intimidated. And that's kind of how I felt. And I feel like in a place like this, you feel like you're getting more value for your money. You've got more direct one-to-one, help and advice. And I think it's just, like you say, it's just easy. None of that fluff. And you get exactly what it says. So Peak Studio in Whiteley. And how can we find you?
PT Studio, Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, you can find us on there.
And so when do we think we can come in?
Well, we were hoping the 4th of July, but as of yesterday, that looks to have been pushed back a little bit. We're training clients outdoors at the moment, so we're doing one-to-one work outside and small group work outside with people from the same household and things like that. So we are
doing something
semi up and running. Yeah.
Well, if anyone's watching this who is part of my community or any of my followers, and you are in the Ferrum area, don't overlook this amazing space. I promise you it's really lovely, and these guys are awesome too. So thanks Rich and thanks Josh, and check them out at PT Studio.
Peak PT Studio.
Peak PT Studio.
Yeah.